Hi, true avatars, and welcome to your weekly queer video game podcast. This is episode 66, and I am your host, Zoe Wild. I'm a transgender and bisexual woman, and my pronouns are she, her. Alright, this episode... Alright, I'm just gonna get into the guests, actually, because I think we're already kind of bantering a little bit before the episode started. First up, we have Cleo here. Cleo is a trans woman and Souls-like aficionado. Pronouns she, her. How have you been, Cleo, and have you played Unbeatable?
I have not. Unbeatable is my life now. It is the best game I've ever played. Rhythm games are back. They've always been back, but it's so good.
So you haven't beat Unbeatable because it is unbeatable,
yeah,
correct?
It's in the title. It's unbeatable. I will sink many hours into it, and I'll never beat it. That's just the life I live now. I'm going to push that ball up the hill, and it's going to fall down. Like, well, I guess it's got to start again.
Now, does it feature the hit Pokemon theme song from Season 8, Unbeatable, in the game?
As of this moment, not yet. I still have to unlock all the songs. There is a chance, but it's probably very slim. I'm sorry to say.
It's a 0 to 10 for me if it doesn't include Unbeatable by David Rolfe.
Give it time. Give it time.
Also, here's Lloyd. Lloyd is trying to be very patient here so he can actually say his piece and probably comment on the game as well. But Lloyd is a trans man and variety streamer whose pronouns are he, him. How are you, Lloyd?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. And I have not played Unbeatable, but when Cleo said I haven't, I thought that was in response to how are you? And I thought that was incredibly clever. But either way. I'm excited to play Unbeatable. I have not touched it yet. I've been bad, but.
Did you pick up a copy?
No, not yet. It's okay. Wishlisted.
I think it's on the Steam Winter Sale started today as of the time of recording. It started this afternoon. I think it is 10% off for the Winter Sale.
Okay. Good.
So there's a slight discount. I mean, if that's something someone wants to pick up and who's listening to the podcast and is like, I really want Unbeatable, I might pick it up at full price, but right now it's on sale for 10% off. So like, why not? Lloyd's like, I know why not. I have no time is why not. Zoe, what the heck?
I have to be really good. I have to be so good. I'll run to wishlist stuff, but I usually really quickly close everything if I've spent all of my money for games. Not that I have like an actual number, but I'm aware. It's kind of like a temperature gauge. It's like I'm aware of how long I need to stay away from a video game sale. But
for me, it's a self-conscious like guilt thing. Like I use IGN playlists to track what games I've played, the games I'm playing, the games I've like put aside, the games I've put on my backlog. And I don't want to give the backlog number on the podcast because I'm embarrassed by the number. It's not as bad as some people's, people who've been on the podcast before, but it's not good either. So, yeah.
I don't want to talk about
We don't
backlogs.
judge here.
No,
this is a judgment-free podcast. If anyone wants to share their backlog numbers, I will not judge you. I don't want to be judged by my listeners because I know they're going to say, Zoe, what on God's green earth are you doing with your backlog? You have a video game podcast and you don't play video games. And the truth is they're correct. They're correct. I played 7 hours of Ghost of Yotei, Pokemon Legends ZA, Metal Gear Solid Delta Remake, all for the podcast episode we recorded it. Did I go back to those games? Oh, and Hyrule Warriors.
Okay.
Did I go back to those games? The answer is a secret.
All right. That tells me everything I need to know.
I've got an idea. I've got a hint, but who knows?
Yeah, like, we'll never know the answer. We'll never know.
It's true. It's going to be podcast lore till the end of time, the greatest unsolved mystery. Okay. Let's get into the actual episode, because speaking of backlogs and games we're going to be adding to the backlog, I'm sure, next year, we're going to be predicting and talking about, not just predicting, but we're going to be looking ahead to 2026. We did this episode last year. It's the last episode of the year. It's going to be a tradition. But we're going to talk about the stuff that's coming out that we know for sure. We're going to talk about the things that might be coming out, and we're going to predict what might be coming out and what might happen next year. So, before we jump into all of that, I do want to ask a question, is how, just generally speaking, do you guys feel about 2026 from a gaming perspective? I'm sure from a I'm trans in this world perspective, it's like complete like a volcanic eruption. But let's talk about, gaming. Let's try to be let's try to be as positive as we can, even though the gaming industry is also imploding in and of itself.
We don't gotta talk about the date imploding. It's fine. I think the gaming, I think it's in a weird space. There's a lot of games coming out, but also I don't know if I'm really ecstatic for a whole bunch. Like, just looking like, am I excited for video games? I think it's in a weird spot, personally.
Yeah. I definitely am feeling myself like falling off of like AAA games and like titles that I've been like, oh cool, there's another one of those coming out. And I know I was always going to ask you for an example, but I can't, my brain cannot put
you're good.
put the things together. But and I feel like I'm going to be going more towards like indie stuff. We talked about it a little bit on a previous episode, but like I'm looking at like Humble Bundle choice and stuff like that. And so like for the future, I'm starting to see like, I'm hopeful about like more community driven indie support. So that's what I'm leaning towards. I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
Well, you are in luck. You're in luck because there is a lot of that coming next year.
Yes.
Especially queer indie support. Like, it's going to be good. The AAA space is where I think we're going to see the implosion. I forgot about a game I'm excited for next year, so I'm adding it to the show notes that you guys can't see because I don't send you the live document because I'm kind of a bitch that way.
God, you hate us.
Do I have to
You
censor
really
bitch? I guess we're going to find out on YouTube, right? If we get this video demonetized whenever I monetize the podcast.
You're
That's
past
cool.
30
Okay,
seconds,
anyway.
it's fine. It's your past 30 seconds,
That's
it's fine.
true.
Is it? I thought it was the first 10 minutes now.
I don't know. I don't know the rules. They change it every week. I don't know anymore.
You can add some of our banter before we record it if you want. Oh, is that 10 minutes?
I've thought about it, but I don't want to throw you on the spot, Lloyd. I feel like I don't want to hunt you like a... What did you say?
No, I'm
Being
fine.
hunted for sport? You're an innocent
recording.
forest creature being hunted for sport? Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually thought we were recording at the time, so that's fine. But yeah, no, I was.
We
I
were
was
recording, but that was just to get us kind of going. I wasn't going to use that. I was just like, let's hit record so we know where we get our butts in gear, you know?
Yeah. I have two parts in me. One of them is the one that hears what people say, it takes what they say, and is a little more logic based. The other one constantly thinks we're being hunted for sport, and if I don't catch that one, it takes over my nervous system. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one is running. I guess they. That one is running my brain at this point.
Your brain? Yeah.
Yeah, my brain. Probably yours too, maybe, but my brain's specific. I'm not in your brain, so I don't know who's running your brain, but my brain is cooked.
They could be doing double shifts or whatever. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like this little version of you, Lloyd, in like bushes to the side, and then Zoe's popping out with like a big game rifle, like, there you are.
Dance.
Why am I the one hunting for sport? Wow, okay.
You're
now I
hunting
have
Lloyd
my
for
guest
sport.
view me. So whenever I go into the Discord and ask who's available, everyone's like, oh, hide from Zoe now. Everyone jump.
Oh no, it's like
like
a
a
big
moving
game
train.
hunter.
All right, we're going to continue the banter after this, but I do have to ask a few quick favors of my listeners and my audience, True Avatars. If you like this podcast, please leave a comment, rating, or review on your preferred podcast platform. I can speak. Spotify has ratings and comments, while Apple has reviews. Engagement like comments, ratings, and reviews helps to grow the podcast, and a growing podcast means a happy podcast host who's forever happy and fulfilled. They enjoy listening to her ramblings, which creates an infinite feedback loop of more podcast episodes and more growth and more happiness. So please go leave a comment, rating, or review. Also, if you're watching the video version on YouTube, please like this episode, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so you're the first to know when a brand new video drops. Also, please follow True Avatars, a queer video game podcast on social media. There are accounts on Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, and did I say Instagram? I feel like I said, I probably got all the ones in there. It's fine. At True Avatars is the handle. And you can also find the podcast on the official website, trueavatarspodcast.com, no spaces. And remember, this is a weekly queer video game podcast, so check in every week. I'm to bring you news, interviews, and updated discussions that are relevant to queer gamers, so you have a safe space to check in on the world of gaming from a 2SL LGBTQIA+ lens. Alright. Let's jump into, looking ahead to 2026 here. So, we talked about indie games, so let's talk about indie games first. How do we feel about that? Feel free to click into any of the links I included in the, and they'll be in the show notes as well. But feel free to click in any of the links to see if any of these pique your interest. I'm gonna go through them briefly, but I don't want this to be a big listicle, so I'm just gonna kind of name games, and if people are interested in anything we have to say about the games, or they just want to look at the list, they can go into the show notes. I feel like that's probably the best, most, streamlined way to do this. Otherwise, we're going to be here for hours just kind of going through games. But anyway, there's a bunch of games that are supposed to come out in 2025 that are still not out yet. It's possible they'll still make it either before or after recording or the release of this podcast, but I do know over the span of December 8th to 12th, there was, I think, 8 total games that were like, we've talked about on this podcast, indie games, queer games, that were released in that span of time. And I was just like, every day I was getting multiple emails. I was like, did y'all not coordinate? Y'all need to coordinate, because I can't keep up with this. I'm happy you're releasing. I am, but I can't keep up with this. Anyway, it's good they released though. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm always in favor of more queer games than not, but I also want them to get their time in the sun. And it's hard when they all release within the span of 8 days. And also one of those games is Unbeatable. So,
Yeah.
And Skate Story, by the way. Also Skate Story.
Oh,
so there's Skate Story and Unbeatable in there. It was like on the 8th was Skate Story, and I think on the 12th was Unbeatable or something like that. And it was just like,
I still
can't.
gotta play Skate. Oh God. Oh, I gotta go.
I don't have time for this.
You reminded me of Skate Story. I gotta go.
I'm so sorry. Not that you have to play Skate Story, but that you feel the compel. Anyway, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete bitch. So anyway, the first game up on this list is Usual June. We've talked about Usual June on the podcast before. I think Ekami might have played a demo for it. I'm not sure. I know she talked about it though. So Usual June, I will talk about this because this seems like a little bit of a higher profile game that people might have heard of, but it's like a third person kind of like action adventure game, a little bit in the vein of Life is Strange. It's got kind of like a low frame rate art style to it, cell shading. But anyway, the description is as follows. Hang out, fight monsters, and discover your town's darkest secrets in Usual June, a third-person action game about summer break and the end of the world. So I'm getting like Life is Strange, Lost Records vibes from this. I'm really excited for it. It's supposed to come out this year, but the Steam page doesn't seem to have any updates, even like recently, to say like, hey, we're still not sure. So I don't know if this is the dev diary. Oh no, there's a dev diary on December 3rd. What does it say? Nothing about the release date. You'd think in this release date, your release date's a month away. Within that month, you'd say at least, hey, we're probably not making that date. Anyway, it's fine. Also, it's supposed to release before the end of the year, probably get pushed to 2026. Interplanetary Love Guide, Hedgehog's Dilemma, and Monster Gal's Voyage. Then we move into 2026, and there's actually a bunch of stuff dated for early 2026, which is great. Like a lot of like indie queer games and other things too. Like there's also some big mainstream games I'm going to list here. First up next year is Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition, plus the content update, which is really exciting. Are either of you looking forward to the Animal Crossing update?
I gotta get back into Animal Crossing, but yeah, I'm really pumped. I love Animal Crossing. It's such a good chill time, and I do want to see what they bring out.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make eye contact with any Switch 2 stuff because I don't have a Switch 2 and I don't want the compulsion to want a Switch 2. But Animal Crossing is good. You can't go wrong with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there's also this game coming out the day after Animal Crossing. It's called Broken Lore Unfollow, and it's a horror game.
Ooh.
I have talked about it on the podcast before. I'm sure if you were to search through, you could hear my longer description of this, but it's a first-person psychological horror game that explores the impact social media has on mental health through the story of Anne, and I'm reading from the Steam description here, a victim of bullying trapped in a surreal nightmare where she must solve a dark mystery and confront sinister creatures. I am getting Fear the Spotlight and Resident Evil vibes from this.
Wow.
And it does have the LGBTQ plus tag on Steam, which the other Broken Lore games do not have that tag. So I feel like Anne might be possibly sapphic. I think there's a possibility there that there might be a sapphic element to her bullying. Maybe she's bullied because she's gay. I'm not sure. If that is and it's a triggering thing, I don't know about it, so I can't give a trigger warning. Cleo, about a week and a bit after this game comes out, another game that you play the demo for, Steel Century Groove, is coming out on January 28th.
Oh, yes. I'm actually really excited for that. I need to pick it up when it comes out.
Can you just give a brief, sorry, go ahead.
No, go, please, go for it.
I was going to ask you just to like explain the game a little bit, because you played it, you know better than I do.
Yeah, like the Steam page does a better job than I'm about to, but you participate in mecha dance battles. It is a RPG rhythm game where it's sort of like Pokemon in a way. In the demo, you go on a route, you make eye contact with other mecha pilots, and you have to dance battle. And you commit millions of dollars of property damage to some pretty fun beats.
That's the dream.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. There are different powers and abilities you can activate. The mech I had a charge meter that when you filled it up, you did more damage to the other mech and got more points, and had abilities based off of that, and that was pretty fun. I think it's worth checking out.
Well, it's coming out January 28th. And then next up is January TBA. It's dated for January, but there's no actual confirmed release date in January, just that it's aimed for January, is Laugh Track. And I do believe Ekami was the one talking about this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Unfortunately, I know a little less about it, but the summary is as follows. You're now the lead writer for Juno's World, a perfectly normal sitcom in which nothing strange or horrible happens ever. Choose your scripts, decide what characters to build relationships with, and keep those audience ratings high, or get cancelled in more ways than one. Welcome to Must-See TV. And this comes from Fiction Factory Games. They're a very cool bunch of people. I think they follow the podcast on Blue Sky, which is nice. We've had a couple interactions. This is a game I'm looking forward to, although I think Ekami will probably have time to get to it before I do. I think is the way it's probably going to go down. Because late January, I'm going to a wedding. So I probably won't have time to play games much while I'm going to this wedding overseas, but it looks like a good time, and I really like this description. And there's this cute picture of a hamster that says, he's like, big buggy eyes, and his God has forsaken me, which is the look my dog gives me every time I walk by her and don't give her a million pets and attention. So, any thoughts on Laugh Track before we plow forward here?
No, it looks good. I remember the demo, I think, was shorter, but it was impactful. So if I remember right, it really makes you not feel bad for your choices, but your choices have some weight, or the narrative has some emotions to it. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be my type of game, but I want to hear more about it and hear what more people think before I should try the demo, truthfully. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Poor Cleo. Every time we mention a new game, she's like, oh God, I have to go play that too. Like, Cleo, it's okay. You don't have to play every game.
No, I have to. No, I can't be on. Hey, I gotta go.
Next up on February 4th. So the actual first episode of this season already debuted, I think this week actually, but Fallout Season 2 has premiered. Excuse me. It's going week by week though, and the finale airs, or I guess streams, on February 4th. So I'm counting it as a 2026 release date thing, just to kind of mention it.
Was there any promotion in Canada? Sorry to cut you off, but locally for me, we didn't hear about it until the day before the first episode dropped. Maybe we weren't paying attention, but there was no promotion for it.
No, I haven't seen any promotion. To be honest, I've been very head down outside of the podcast work and some gaming. But if this helps you, I'm pretty sure The Last of Us Season 2 ads for when it started streaming are still up in all the bus stops near my house.
Gotcha.
If that gives you any indication for where we are in queer television adaptation advertising.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of stuff, so I have inevitably heard about the show and knew it was streaming. I just never got around to watching it.
I actually talked about the release date on the podcast months ago, and I forgot, so that's on me too. So, a bad queer gaming podcast host, let me tell you. The other queer gaming podcast hosts are going to lambaste me next week, I swear. Oh wait, there aren't any. Not right now, anyway. Hopefully there are. If there are, I don't mean to crap on them, to be honest. If there are, reach out. Let's be friends. We're not competing. I think we should. There's space for all of us if we all exist. But as far as I know, I'm the only one doing this weekly, and specifically for queer gaming. Anyway, on February 12th, which is the week after, Mario Tennis Fever comes out. You're probably thinking, Zoe, Mario Tennis Fever? That's not a queer game. That's where you're wrong. It has Yoshi and Birdo. And Birdo is canonically transgender. And Yoshi has to be transgender in some way, because he's a dude that lays eggs. I mean, it doesn't get gayer than that. So...
I'm here for it.
Logic sound. Logic is sound.
Yeah, it checks.
I agree.
Perfect. I'm glad we can all agree on that. I'm very excited for the baby mode, where it's like an RPG thing, kind of like Golf Story. But basically all the characters become babies, and I think they have to go do things to kind of grow up as part of the story, play tennis matches. What I'm hoping, though, is that every character in that mode is babyfied, because Mario Kart World did not have a baby Boo, and I would really like to see a baby Boo. What I'm scared about is baby Birdo. Is baby Birdo going to be pre-transition baby Birdo?
These are important questions.
No, that is true.
But this is the hard-hitting journalism. I see.
Tell me how you really feel, Lloyd. Jeez.
I mean, these are the questions you have to be answering. These are the questions.
I wasn't expecting it. I'm sorry. I should have been locked in. No. You've got me wondering too. You got me wondering.
Was pre-transition Birdo not pink? What did Birdo do to transition? Is Birdo medically transitioned? Has Birdo had bottom surgery?
Or is that none of our business, right? Like,
It's none of our business. You're also right. You're so right.
Birdo's a public figure. That does, they, is she,
We're
I
not
don't-
entitled to Birdo's information.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Exactly
Birdo
right.
deserves privacy in this trying time.
You're right. You're right. I should do better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the day after Mario Tennis Fever comes out, that's a Thursday, and then Friday, February 13th, so Friday the 13th, Scarlet Hollow, which is in early access, is releasing its 5th chapter out of 7, I think. They're doing full 7 chapters, and the 5th chapter so far aims to be the longest one. And so they're planning to release that. Scarlet Hollow, for anyone who doesn't know, is from the Slay the Princess devs. It is a visual novel that is very gay in so far as you can pick your name and your pronouns, and you can date anyone you want, and everyone reacts to you accordingly. I played the first 4 chapters. I talked about this podcast before, but you can choose, when you start the game, you can choose 2 traits for your character that will affect the narrative. And again, like, if you go through and play the narrative again and you choose different traits, you will experience different parts of the story. For example, I chose being like, I forget what the term was, but basically I was like, I hit on everyone. Like, I was considered very attractive, and I was hitting on everyone was my superpower. And I also could talk to dogs, and they could understand me and talk back. And I did have full-on scenes where, like, I could, hey, Olive, I'm gonna have a conversation with my dog who's barking right now. Oh, she's barking at me, specifically. It's like, she's like, you can't talk to dogs. You don't know what I'm saying, lady. Anyway, yeah, so when I was talking to dogs, there's a whole scene where you can interact with dogs in the mayor's office, which you can't do in any other playthrough, because if you don't pick that power or that trait. Anyway, so all that is to say is, like, you can play through this game multiple times and not see everything it has to offer. It's really, really good, but it is a horror game. There are some triggering moments, to be clear. But basically you're going to visit your cousin. Your aunt has passed away. You're going to this big mansion in this small town, and seeing family and people you haven't seen in a very long time to reconnect it. Weird stuff starts going down in the town. It's great. It's really good. If that's your jam and your horror games are your vibe, it's like spooky horror. It's really good. I think you should play it. It's awesome. And it's not finished, but, like, it's the kind of game that had an effect on me. I will remember everything about this game until the next chapter comes out and the next chapter after that, because it really stuck with me. Anyway, any thoughts on Scarlet Hollow before we move on?
That game was added to my wish list the moment we spoke about it on an earlier episode. So I think during the Steam sale, I'm going to buy it and sit down and
It is on sale right now,
do
yeah.
a full playthrough. At least one full playthrough. So,
Yeah, and when
I'm
you finish your
so
first
excited.
playthrough, it lets you go back in for, like, a new game plus sort of thing, where you actually get, you get to pick 3 traits. But I think
that's cool.
there's something to do with, like, you can't, like, I think there's, like, a downside to it as well. Like, they debuff you in a way. I can't remember how, but they're like, you get 3 traits, but you can't affect certain things, or I don't know. But, or maybe, like, it doesn't affect your main playthrough or something like that. I can't remember, but I am going to go back in for a second playthrough. I just don't have the time, but I would like to try it with every trait, because I was really, really into this game. Also, I feel like I'm the only person on Earth that didn't like Slay the Princess, unfortunately. It just wasn't for me. Not a bad game, just not for me. But if you're one of those maybe if there's one other person out there who didn't like Slay the Princess, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like Scarlet Hollow. I loved Scarlet Hollow. Completely different from how I felt about Slay the Princess. So, like, don't write off Scarlet Hollow if Slay the Princess wasn't your jam. I think I'm the only person on Earth who didn't like it, though, so that's fine. We won't crap on Zoe in the comments, for sure. Okay. We're going to go through a couple of these games really quickly. On February 18th is Key Fairy. Key Fairy is a hand-drawn pacifist folkloric bullet hell. Grapple and dance around monsters to collect their shattered stars, weave your way through twisting paths, and capture strange folk. And I'm reading from the Steam description right here. Uncover ancient magic and evade forgotten gods in this frenetic 2D action adventure. I am getting Undertale vibes from this. But the bullet hell obviously makes it quite a bit different. But it looks like Undertale, like, stylistically. Like, it looks like Undertale, with a little bit of, like, a pink, like, you know, the 3D blue and red effect you used to see in movies and stuff?
Yeah.
It looks like that if it was only the red kind of, like, jarring it a little bit, the image. Anyway, this comes February 18th, 2026. And
Yeah,
then the day after that... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it looks gorgeous. Like, I'm the minimalistic, like, style that it uses. Minimalistic as far as colors go. It looks gorgeous. Like, I'm feeling a certain way, and I haven't even played it.
yeah. That's interesting.
Cleo, sorry, I did kind of try to move on there, but if you do have something you want to say about it, feel free to, like, don't worry about what yeah.
That's interesting is all I have to say about it right now. Please, we can continue.
Valid. Okay. The day after that is Dead in Antares. I think that's how you say it, Antares. It's a turn-based, again, reading from the Steam description, it's a turn-based survival management game with RPG elements set on an alien planet. It has a really nice hand-drawn art style. Very stylistic. It reminds me a little bit in some of these screenshots here of Chroma, but the RPG elements look obviously quite a bit different. Continuing the Steam description here, I can't speak today apparently. Lead a crew of survivors sent on a mission to save humanity, manage their needs, strengthen their teamwork, and explore this mysterious world to find a way back home. So it's a resource management sim, RPG, survival adventure game. Everything that stresses me out about games, but if that's your jam, that sounds like it's right up your alley.
And everybody's hot. I'm just like,
that's so important.
This is true. This is very true. On March 5th, we have Coffee Talk Tokyo. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. Coffee Talk is a known quantity, but this is the Coffee Talk spin-off set in Tokyo. I think there are some connections to the main series with some of the characters. I love the first two Coffee Talk games. They're games I played in an afternoon, like they were very short. I think it took me I want to say between 2 and 4 hours to finish each one. But they were really nice, rainy day games to play. So I'm looking forward to a rainy day in March or April next year where I get to play Coffee Talk Tokyo, because I'm very much looking forward to this next game in the series. I love these games. Don't everybody talk at once. Okay, the same day Coffee Talk Tokyo comes out, I'm sure this game is going to overshadow anything that comes out that day. It's Pokemon Pokopia. Pokemon Pokopia is the Animal Crossing-like Pokemon game. It's actually more akin to probably Dragon Quest Builders, but I think people are getting Animal Crossing vibes from it, and that's probably what's going to draw people to it. You're basically region building as a Ditto in a human form. The human form creeps me out, but I think the rest of the concept looks amazing. The only thing that makes me really salty about this game is that the physical copy is a game key card, so I don't know how I'm going to buy this game, but I think I want to play it day one. And I also predicted the week before it got its release date announcement that it would either come out on February, I think the 27th or 28th, or March 5th specifically, and I was correct, because Zoe is very smart, she's very intellectual, she's hip and with it, and you should listen to her podcast. I hear it's great. Poor Lloyd is dying of laughter here.
I've heard good things about it, yeah.
I think this is the least likely game I'm going to play next year.
Well, it's on Switch too, to be fair.
There we go. But no, yep. I'm glad it brings joy to the people it brings joy to, but I take one look at that humanoid Ditto and I'm filled with a rage that I can't explain.
Me too. Me too. Honestly, me too. But I think we're the only people on the earth that don't like this Ditto, Lloyd, because everyone else seems to be very, very excited for this game.
So why does
in a way that I cannot understand.
Why does it have to be a person? Does he have to do taxes for the farm?
Why can't it transform into the Pokemon it needs to make the move that it's using? I don't understand why it needs to be a person. And yeah, the tax thing, maybe because it's building a region for humans at the end of the day, it needs to file its taxes.
I mean, taxes. What's its day job? Does it have a degree? Can we hire this Ditto? We gotta really start thinking about it in terms of just what can this Ditto bring to our economy? I think we shouldn't. I don't think we should hire this Ditto. He did very well in the interview.
It's giving Parasite, if anyone's familiar with the anime or any
yes.
of this. It's giving Parasite for me. Is it trying to be people so that it tricks the people into coming to the farm?
Shinichi-kun.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, exactly. But
I love that anime. It's so good.
It's really good.
Oh my god,
it's so good.
It's so disturbing, but it has a really cute story with the little monster that takes over the guy's arm. We're not going to talk about it. It's very body horror. But if you're interested and you can stomach kind of gruesome body horror, look up this anime. It's great. It's great. I think it's called Parasite the Maxim, and the I in Parasite is actually a Y. That's how you'll find it. But I'm sure if you type in Parasite the anime, it's not Parasite the Korean movie, to be clear. Alright, in March TBA, there's a couple March TBA ones here, and then we get into basically TBA for the year. But The Wide Open Sky is running out of Catfish. It comes out in March next year, no date. This game was actually at QGCon, and I did not get a chance to meet the devs because I did not have time to meet every dev there. But the developer is Zipit Games. It's a story-driven photography game on the back of a giant flying catfish. Transform clouds, again, I'm reading from the Steam description if you can't tell. Transform clouds into sea creatures and bring abundance back to an empty sky. Game looks adorable and wholesome and cozy, and I'm really sad I didn't get a chance to meet the devs, and it was my fault because I only went to the in-person event for one day, and I will forever regret that choice.
I'm looking at the catfish, it's looking at me, and we're having I see the universe right now. There's something very nostalgic about the art style of this game.
This game is going to be my jam when it comes out, and I'm sure I'm going to just devour it because it is kind of perfect.
Cleo's backlog grows every time I bring up a new game in this episode. I wonder if I should kick her off the show so she can't add more games to her poor backlog.
And then it's just going to keep growing bigger anyway. Like, we're at...
It's true.
You know what? Triple digits right now. It could get bigger.
Only triple digits, eh?
Only triple digits. It might be 4 digits before too long. Don't worry.
So this next game, the devs actually did reach out to thank us for talking about it on the podcast back when we did the last bonus episode in October. This is Lap of the Gods, and I think, Lloyd, it was Ekami that played this one, right?
Yes.
Or did you play it?
I had comments, but no. Ekami played this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ekami for sure played this one.
The Steam description is as follows, and then Lloyd will take your comments. But when the sun shines on the lap of the gods, it is blood red, and when it rains, the sky sobs. Explore a strange world populated by even stranger beings in the story-driven adventure as Marion attempts to undo a mistake on a universal level, before everything she has ever known becomes undone.
I might have been confusing my comments about the earlier game that I said it was a shorter demo but impactful. These two Ekami talked about in the same episode.
Right.
But just the character designs are really unique and really pretty. So that's what I got.
Yeah, it's a point-and-click visual novel, interactive fiction kind of game. It looks very queer in its essence. You'll take one look at the art style and be like, yep, these are gay people. Or these are at least made by gay people. Not that you should clock gay people like that, to be clear, but when we're talking about games with the I think it has the LGBTQ plus tag. Let's see. Yes, it does.
It is.
So we're fine.
It's in that
we're
list.
fine. They've already outed themselves. It's okay.
You can tell. I know what you mean. When you consume media, you can feel the culture. You can feel the.
I can tell when a
ideals.
game that isn't queer at all has been made by a trans woman, a single solo dev trans woman. And when I dig it far enough on the game's development history, I usually find that the trans woman has some very obscure social media page with a trans flag on it. And I'm like, yeah, I clocked you. And I don't like to, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I try not to out them on the podcast is where I try to draw the line. But like, it's almost like, when you make eye contact with a trans woman in public and you're like, oh, you're trans, I'm trans, we both know we're trans, but neither of us wants to clock each other because that's not polite. So we're not going to say anything, but we're going to give each other the look. And then we're going to move on with our day. That's the gaming equivalent of that. So, a game that is out in the very open, like this game is very, 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 very gay, is Building Relationships. And Tanat, if you're listening to this episode as we talk about this, I want to know where your game is because you said 2025 and you said something went very wrong if it was not 2025 and I'm giving him a hard time. He's been on the show before, back in episode, I want to say 42, he was on as an interview. Go listen to that. We give each other crap. It's fine. He's great. He should also take all the time he needs to make the game because the game is going to be wonderful when it comes out. But Building Relationships is the game where you date other houses. You are a house dating houses. It looks great. It has an N64 PS1 era vibe to it. I think there's still a demo. Yeah, there's still a demo. It's great. If you're playing the demo in English, you cannot leave the demo when it is done. That is a fun little detail we learned in the episode where we interviewed Tanat Buzayangul.
You can't leave the demo?
There's no exit button. You didn't have time to add it.
Okay.
You're
you know
living
what?
there now. You're
Technically,
building...
there are more important things. So I get
Yeah,
it.
that's... Yeah.
But
You're
now you
living
can
there
just
now.
build relationships forever. You don't have
Forever.
to do anything else.
Yeah. It's a great demo, though. You should go play it. It's very, very, very queer. I feel like there's like some kind of joke I saw he was making a joke in the game he posted a screenshot of, and it was something like, are you a roof or are you a basement or something like that?
I was just wondering how you queerify houses. Like a
There you go.
modular romance, and that's how. Okay.
It was something like, yeah, are you like a top floor? Are you a bottom floor? Are you like a roof or a basement? I can't remember what it was, but it was something like that. And I was like, this is very on brand for Tanat, and this is very on brand for Building Relationships. I'm here for it.
I'm like a veranda.
I like it.
I'm a doormat.
Dang.
Okay.
I'm not actually
That's
sorry. I just wanted to make the joke. All right. Next up is another game we've interviewed the dev for. Is Frame of Mind, a Game of Thoughts. This is also dated for Q1 TBA. Building Relationships is Q1 TBA. This is also Q1 TBA to be announced. No set date, but just Q1 2026, which is the first 3 months of the year. Frame of Mind, a Game of Thoughts is another point-and-click adventure. The vibes are significantly less humorous. It's a game about mental health. It's a game about abuse and other things. again, it's a little too heavy to get into in this episode in depth, but I did interview the developer Beta Lars behind this game back, and I want to say it was episode 44 that I did that interview, and I highly recommend playing the demo if it's still available. I'm going to check, see if the demo is still available. It is still available. I recommend going to check out the demo, and I recommend going back and listening to that episode because it is full of great insights from Beta Lars. All right, I'm going to blow through a few of these because I don't know too much about them, but I do want to highlight that they exist and for people to go listen to them, to go find out more about them if they want to. There's a game called Hungry Horrors. That's Q1. This is all Q1 TBA. Hungry Horrors, Find This Pixel Anomaly, Feline Forensic, and the Meowseum Mystery. High Times, Dating and Cooking Sim. That's the donut, like, it's coffee talk with donuts, which I'm very hyped for because I'm going to have a box of donuts beside me, though, while I'm not playing this game because I will otherwise... Anyway, I have a unhealthy addiction to donuts. It's bad. Like, I got donuts today, and I bought, if you're Canadian, you'll know this, I bought a box of Timbits, which are Canadian donut holes. The walk was only 10 minutes. I bought 10 donut holes. They were gone before I reached my house.
Oh, hell yeah.
They don't last. They're so easy to just like, oh yes, here's one, here's another.
It was like air. I was like, is it Patrick in SpongeBob that he vacuums up the, like, yeah, that was me with the Timbits. Yeah.
Which one of you ate my Timbits? Yeah.
I just want to say I hate the rest of that joke. It's so fat shamey. Like, you ate all my food, now I'm gonna starve, and it cuts to his gut, and I'm just like, it's so vividly drawn. I'm like, why did we have to make this joke? Anyway, the rest of the joke is fine. Just that one part of it, I'm just like, iffy on. Anyway, also coming out Q1 TBA is Neo Junk City and Messy Hearts. Another pretty big AAA game here, although Nintendo would probably call it AA, is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Before we talk about the game itself, I want to talk about when I think it's coming out, because Nintendo has 2 undated games for spring, and these games are also dated for autumn in Australia, which means they're aiming for between March and May, because spring in the Northern Hemisphere goes until the end of June, but autumn in the Southern Hemisphere goes till the end of May. So I think this game is both Tomodachi Life and Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which is also a queer game because it has Yoshi, are either, one of them is going to come out March 26th, and the other one is coming out April 30th. That's my prediction. I'm pretty sure that's when those games are going to come out. They could be a week or two off, but I think those are the dates. You can lock those in now. When I'm correct, you can come back and say, Zoe, you are a goddess. Please, let's pray to you now. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't need to become the next, whatever, weird religious cult. Anyway, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. I'm really excited for this game. It's like an Animal Crossing game if Animal Crossing was full of me's and absurd. Do you guys have thoughts on this?
I've only seen clips of Tomodachi Life, and every clip I have seen has made me burst out laughing because of its just pure ridiculousness. Like, don't be Vegeta, don't be Vegeta. It's Vegeta. What's happening in this game? I don't understand. It's amazing and beautiful, and I don't get it. I really love it.
Yeah, you might have more context than I do, because everything I've heard about Tomodachi Life has been through Zoe. So...
Well, speaking of the information through Zoe, I'm going to reiterate the same thing that might make this game queer, is that when the first game came out, you couldn't couldn't do gay marriage in the first game. And Nintendo said, we're very, very sorry, we'll get you next time. And I haven't forgotten, Nintendo, I've been waiting 10 years, even before I came out of the closet, I've been waiting for this. So if there's no gay marriage in this game, I swear, I won't do anything. Because Nintendo, what am I going to do? And then again, the other game is Yoshi the Mysterious Book. I have very little to say about this. It looks like a very child-friendly game. It's a Yoshi side-scroller like you're used to, but Yoshi is completing a version of the Pokédex that is just like random Yoshi creatures.
Sounds cute, I'm in.
Yeah.
It sounds boring, I'm not in. May 26, 2026 is Paralives. This game actually has a date. It does have the LGBTQ plus tag. According from the Steam page, Paralives is a life simulation game about building homes, lives, and bonds. It's basically The Sims.
Ooh, yeah. I like the camera angle on this. It feels like a weird thing to comment on, but a lot of the stuff from the Steam is kind of like a 2/3 or like a, I don't know.
Like an isometric?
It's very 3-dimensional, the kind of like in between angle they're picking here. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a neat... I like that art style.
Yeah, it's kind of cel-shaded. It looks like a modern version of The Sims.
Yeah.
More detailed. I feel like Sims is intentionally like kind of low poly, more so low poly. But yeah, if you're looking for a good sim game, this game it comes out. It's early access on May 25th. Actually, I said the 26th. Oh, it's May 25th. I was wrong about that. Okay. And then Q2 2026 is Sucks to Be in the Sticks. This is another vague release date here. An interview with a vampire from a decaying post-Soviet town. This is from the Steam page. A cursed life simulator. Scrub floors, brew moonshine, follow strange routines that drink blood as your sanity unravels. The world is broken. Can you find out why? It's a vampire sim game.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh,
Seems like something this would be Lloyd's jam.
Yeah. I love really cute but dark stuff. I don't know how to better describe that, but this looks like that perfect amount of like grungy, but also slice of lifey. I don't know, but I do. This is right up my alley.
This looks like it might go to some very dark places, and I'm very much into that.
I love the name. It's so clever. Sucks to Be in the Sticks.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those names without context. You're like, why is this a sentence? But then you think about why it's called that. And like, obviously, vampires that live like in the boonies. Like, it's great.
Of course.
Great title.
And what I love about the title too is it's also implying a degree of self-awareness and a degree of like, not goofiness. It's actually giving Night in the Woods type energy.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved that. So, yeah.
I found out that game was also developed in Toronto recently. I did not know that, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Toronto is the greatest city in the world. I'm not taking any questions. Thank you. All right, Q2 2026. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This is another game we don't know when it's coming out, but I think this is going to be later in the spring. I think this will probably, maybe even around time for the Mario movie, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bella Bell Park. This game is queer because it has Yoshi. The game already exists, it's already out, but this is the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade, and also it has like a multiplayer DLC that looks kind of lame if I'm not like gonna lie. Like, I think it looks kind of weird, but if people are excited for this, more power to you. Alright. What else do we have here? Also, for early 2026, the Steam Machine, the Steam Frame, and the Steam Controller are all supposed to come out. I think Steam is probably gonna balk a little bit because of the price of RAM going up. So I guess we'll see how that goes. We also know that in the second half of the year, Deltarune's Chapter 5 should be coming out of 7, I think, chapters. So after that is like stuff that's dated for 2026 but has no specific release window or date. And this is where we can kind of dive into a few of these because I think there's a lot of AAA stuff in here. But first up, we have Pokemon Champions, which is basically taking the battle stuff out of the main games and giving you just a battle game that's both on Nintendo Switch 2, and mobile. So if you don't have a Switch or a Switch 2, guess what? You can play this on mobile as well.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's going to have all the battle gimmicks in it. Like, you're going to be able to battle Mega Evolution versus Terrestrialization. For anyone who doesn't know Pokemon, that probably sounds weird. But if you know anything about Pokemon, you're like, oh wow, we get to actually like live like the anime now, which is great. So. Next up is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. That is the remake of the OG Tomb Raider, and finally her boobs are not triangles, which is great. So. Alright, nobody speak at once, please. Also up next.
What happened was that wasn't on my list, so I was like, where is it?
Yeah, I was just kind of like,
oh, yeah, I added that today. Sorry, I added that today, yeah.
So all my thoughts went out the window.
I didn't realize this, but I saw a Blue Sky post that's saying that, or maybe it was a Twitter post that was like, Tomb Raider is a queer game because it has a huge queer fan base, which I didn't know. So I was like, I should probably include this because it seems relevant.
Yeah, that checks out. I mean, I didn't play it, but I feel like anything that's retro and has been around for long enough, and especially if it has like some sort of like, not that Tomb Raider's creepy, but I could see it.
So what you're saying is Half-Life is a gay game?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if you haven't played the original Tomb Raider, that game is dark. Like the original, because what is it? It's the fate of Atlantis.
Lighting-wise dark?
What? Oh,
like
Tomb
the
Raider.
lighting is dark?
Oh no, Tomb Raider: The Fate of Atlantis. In the PS1 game, Atlantis is a fleshy nightmare. It is all flesh. The walls. It's truly horrifying. The implications of Atlantis being like a living thing, and you're just inside of its guts. That's on
This
the
game
PS1.
just shot up to the top of my wish list.
I don't think they're gonna do that in the remake, but everyone really wants them to. That would be like my life would be complete if we got like high definition, fleshy Atlantis. I would die happy.
I was just thinking a lot of like
We need
older
a
games could
4K
get
fleshy Atlantis.
Sorry,
Lloyd.
they could get away with stuff because the rating just automatically like the what's that called, like ESRP maybe is already low.
Yeah.
Or, like it can get away with more when there's fewer pixels is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Like they did something later on, like they did like a anniversary edition, kind of had some of the elements but not everything. It wasn't the best, but I really want to see fully.
Did they remove Fleshy Atlantis in that anniversary edition?
They kept aspects of it. My cam is there. They kept aspects of it, like you fight a version of Laura. This has been out so long, so I'm not worried about spoilers. A version of Laura with
Wait, hold on.
literally-
Before we say spoilers, remember that there's going to be a lot of people playing this game next year who've never played it before because of the remake. So maybe
Fair
we
enough.
shouldn't spoil it.
You know what?
The fleshy
Fair.
Atlantis might already be a pretty big spoiler.
I-
Maybe I'll note that in
every-
the...
Everywhere I look
Go ahead.
on Twitter, everyone is sharing, like, we want to see this. Everyone's, like, sharing comparison clips of, like, PS1 Atlantis and, like, Anniversary Atlantis. And they're like, we gotta see this. And hide, we gotta see this. Please.
Oh, cool.
That's valid. Mm-hmm. I'll still put up a spoiler warning anyway, just in case people aren't tuned into the social media sphere of things. But that is good to know. The Fleshy Atlantis makes me want to play it, to be clear. So, next up is Neverway. This is basically the anti-Stardew Valley. You're basically, like, it's Stardew Valley if Stardew Valley was, like, bleak and horrifying and you were cursed to farm.
I'm in. I'm gonna make my partner play.
It does have queer dating in it as well. You play as a woman, to be clear. You can't choose your gender, but you play as a woman and you can date the other women characters. So, and I got that confirmation directly from the devs earlier this year. Also coming out next year is the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition on Switch 2. It's already out elsewhere, so don't worry if you're like, Zoe, that came out. It did come out everywhere else. The Switch 2 version is coming out. And I know all you gays listening love your Switch 2s. Present company not included. So, yeah.
The gays
Especially
and their
trans
Switch
women. I know y'all bought one. I can see you through the screen right now. I know your trans ass bought a Switch 2, because I bought one. Also coming out next year is Fear Effect 2 Retro Helix. It is a port of the original Fear Effect game. Fear Effect 2, rather. They did the first game this year, and it looks like the second game is coming next year. Ikuma, The Frozen Compass. This is an indie game. It's basically an adventure game where you play... I think it has a co-op element to it, but you basically play as a human, and you have a sled dog, and you're kind of like exploring the very cold world around you, like the Arctic almost. Yeah, it does have local co-op. And, yeah, it has the LGBTQ plus tag on Steam.
That's so
It
pretty.
looks very charming.
Yeah, it's so pretty. The light effects in the Arctic. Oh, okay.
It looks like a AAA game. Like, it looks
Yeah.
like a AAA game.
Yeah, that game's on my list now. For sure. That looks gorgeous.
As it should be. It should be on all these games should be on everyone's list, to be clear. You should wishlist everything, even if you're not going to play it or buy it, because it does help the devs, even if it's not your jam. To be clear. Next up is Scott Pilgrim EX. I believe Wallace Wells is in the game, and that just qualifies it immediately as being a queer game. But it's basically the spiritual successor to the Scott Pilgrim game that came out when the movie came out. Also, another spiritual successor to, I think, I want to say Thirsty Suitors. Let me double check this. Outer Loop Games. Let me check here. Yes, Thirsty Suitors. The team that made Thirsty Suitors is making a game called Dosa Divas. This is from the Steam page. Battle an evil fast food empire in the spicy narrative turn-based RPG. Two sisters and their upgradable spirit mech cook delicious meals, fight corpos, build up your reputation with local communities, and reconcile with loved ones. Not sure if it's going to be queer, but I am giving it the benefit of the doubt because it came from a team that made another queer game. We also have Cyber Paradise. We have Will Follow the Light. Band Together. I don't think Band Together is going to make 2026. I don't want to add pressure to the devs, but they did say it was possible it might make end of 2026 when I interviewed them literally like 3 or 4 episodes ago. I think episode 63 is the episode where I interviewed the Band Together devs. Go listen to that episode. It's great. I don't think the demo is live right now. I assume I think there's going to be a demo next year, and I think you should play it because it is great. It is a first-person point-and-click adventure game, not adventure so much, but puzzle game where you are basically trying to figure out why these queer books are disappearing off shelves, like mystically disappearing off shelves. It's great. I played the demo at QGCon. It's really fun. But we're not going to rush the devs to get it out for 2026 if it doesn't make it. Same with all these other games. Mm-hmm. Speaking of games I played at QGCon, there was also Love in the Time of Spellphage. Sorry, I'm kind of steamrolling here, guys, but I need to get through this fairly, or we're going to be here forever. As Love in the Time of Spellphage. I also, in the episode 53, I talked about this. I interviewed the devs. I played the demo. It's a 1-hour spellpunk adventure, about narrative adventure about pandemic, wizards, and first love. It's very much a vibes game. You're going to be having a lot of conversations with people. It's got a very late 90s internet vibe to it. Creatures of all sorts. It's not like humans. It's, fairy tale creatures, beings. Not fairy tale so much, but fantasy kind of elements to vibes to it. But also very much like the mundane and everyday aspect to fantasy. Which again, we talk about in episode 53 and episode 55. So go check those out. If you're curious about that. Virtue and a Sledgehammer. We talked about this last week. No, 2 episodes ago. Which is the game from, the team that made, oh my god, why can't I remember the name? Looking it up. Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. The team that made Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood and the Red Strings Club is making this game where you basically, it looks like an N64 game where you're going through your hometown and breaking it down. Literally breaking it down with a sledgehammer, where you kind of feel like you are no longer welcome in this town and stuff like that. And then finally, Moomin Troll Winter's Warmth is also supposed to come out next year. This is a game based on the Moomin series. Again, Ekami and I talked about this in the TJ episode in episode 64. So, again, we talked about both the last game, Virtue and a Sledgehammer and Moomin Troll Winter's Warmth in that episode. I implore you to go check out that episode to hear more about it. Also, next year, we do know that there's going to be an Xbox Developer Direct in January. It's already been confirmed. We don't know what games are going to be in it. I don't even know if they gave an exact date in that month, just that it's January 2026. But I think most people expected it to be there anyway, because they do one every January where they kind of highlight some AA games that Xbox has invested in. So, also some non-queer highlights. Stop me if either of you want to talk about any of these as I kind of blow through them, but we have the Halo 1 remake, Saros, Star Wars Galactic Racer, Resident Evil Requiem, Monster Hunter Stories 3. Sorry, is anyone trying to cut in edgewise there?
No, I was thinking about saying something about Saros because I'm so excited about that, but I don't know what to say. I think
Lloyd is too, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about that one too. Yeah. The main actor name is escaping me right now. Usually I can remember him, but love that guy, and it just looks good. It looks good, and I'm pumped for it.
Okay. We also have Resident Evil. Star Wars Galactic Racer, Resident Evil Requiem, Monster Hunter Story. I feel like Resident Evil Requiem is its own kind of queer game, because I feel like a lot of gays are hyped for Leon, just like the girls, gays, and theys are all pretty hyped for Leon coming back.
100%.
So, there's also Monster Hunter Stories 3, 007 First Light. That is probably the straightest game that's going to release next year. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, Wolverine on PS5, Orbitals, which is the co-op game that's like Switch 2 exclusive. It looks like an 80s style anime. It was revealed at the Game Awards. Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. If you haven't played Planet of Lana 1, it is basically if Horizon, Zero Dawn, and Inside had a baby. It's great. Go play it.
Wow,
and the sequel looks just as good. And it has a very cute alien kitty that you are doing, like, solving puzzles with. Like, you have to, like, figure out where to send the kitty and do things. It's great.
Amen.
Gecko Gods is also coming out next year. This is not queer in any way, but you play as a little gecko on an island solving puzzles. I don't know what is not to love about that. Mango and I are going to play that together, and we are going to be pretty hype. Mango is waiting impatiently actually, for the Gecko Gods. I have to calm her down every time they delay it, because she is inconsolable. Mango is my leopard gecko, for anyone who doesn't know.
It was just an actual mango you have around, like Wilson style.
Just like a fruit, yeah. Wilson. Mango! Mango! Super Meat Boy 3D is also coming out next year, and Witchbrook, which actually kind of gives me some witchy lesbian vibes, but not confirmed. Witchbrook is like, you're at a school, you play as a witch. It's Harry Potter for people who are sick of Harry Potter and want something a little more inclusive and friendly. But it's like a co-op life sim kind of game. Multiplayer. Less so co-op, but anyway. Yeah, it looks really cute. Charming. Pixel art style. Isometric. Was in one of the Nintendo Directs this year, or maybe 2 of them. Okay, that pretty much covers everything we know is coming next year. Cleo and Lloyd, do you have any predictions, hopes, desires, pessimism for next year?
I really want to see more from the Mass Effect franchise. I'm really hoping we'll see. I'm predicting we will see more of the game. I'm hoping I got this backwards. I'm predicting we'll see the TV show exist in some form. I'm hoping we'll hear more about the game and the next entry in the franchise. I want it in my veins right now. Replace my veins with Mass Effect, please.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news.
Don't. I gotta go. I have to leave. I gotta get out of here.
Well, the audience needs to know this, but Mass Effect, BioWare downsized this year.
Of course they
No.
So I think they're down to more of a skeleton crew. I don't know if it's actually a skeleton crew, but they are down a significant number of people while they kind of revamp and retool for Mass Effect 5. I think Mass Effect 5 is years away, but I do think it's possible now that they've started casting for the Mass Effect TV show, we will see something from that this year. Probably not even a release date, but we might, probably not even a release date, but maybe hints that it's coming in 2027. Late 2027, I feel like it's going to be very effects heavy, and it's going to be the kind of show that each season is going to take a few years because it's sci-fi and very effects heavy.
That's my hope. I hope, well, maybe we'll see something. Maybe they'll drop like a teaser and like 2027 trailer. I know that's like such a shot in the dark.
Cleo's just like, give me something. I need something.
Just give me something. I need a hit of Mass Effect right now. I need it bad. And if not that, Dragon Age, which is never going to happen ever again, and I just gotta get over that.
There's a snowball's chance in hell of Dragon Age getting anything this year.
Don't ruin this for me. I gotta believe.
That could be a hope. There you go. Yeah.
Man, this is my hope.
Good.
Those are kind of the big things.
Nice. Yeah. For me, I touched on it a little bit earlier, but just a lot more indie action, a lot more community support in indie games. I think a lot of people in the gaming sphere are just like burnt out over the big name companies, especially all the stuff that, like Xbox and Microsoft, all the price increases that's been going on, the payment processor stuff that's been going on. I think video games are priced into a luxury point that people are over. And if they're not over it, it's out of necessity that they're over it, just because it's unaffordable. So I'm seeing a lot more indie. I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot more indie support. I couldn't remember the 3-letter acronym. What's it called when a game is like a free it's downloaded independent of a like Steam or like Epic Games, or it doesn't have a
storefront attached to it?
Yeah. I couldn't remember what it's called.
I didn't know there was an acronym for that, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, is it like DRM free?
Yes. Okay, I wrote down DRT and I was like, I don't know what the that is, but yes, that one. That's the one.
Okay. Yeah, DRM free games. Yeah, I feel you.
So I was like feeling out. I was like, that would be really cool if there was like a little bit more support for that. I know why storefronts, like it's like a little bit easier to get out updates to everything, but there's with like the payment processor stuff going on. So it was like, I was like feeling out a little bit more like, grassroots sort of, gaming culture. And then another thing I'm thinking of for next year is if there's no, AI generation sort of, official like rules and laws and stuff that go into place, I think it's going to be more community based how it's policed. It's going to be more people, telling each other or on social media or, and I could see we can do that. I think we can, keep holding that standard because the industry, I think, is going to keep pushing that. But I think if we keep up with it, we can keep supporting artists. And so that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, a lot of game devs, like lead devs at like companies and like CEOs at like not major studios, but like very popular studios that are a little bit smaller, making AA games and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how you would like class Larian, but the Larian CEO has been going off this week talking about stuff, and people are like responding, either agreeing or disagreeing, and it's kind of making me take stock of who's saying like no to AI versus who's saying yes. And at first it seems like, well, we just want to use it for concepts and stuff just to get the ball rolling. And then they start getting more aggressive about it. And then you realize like, oh, they actually want to really rely on AI, which of all studios, I didn't expect to hear it from Larian, but apparently there's a lot of other stuff coming out about Larian too that's just like not good.
Yeah, that's incredibly disheartening.
That's sad to hear. I hadn't caught up on that yet.
Yeah, I've been following that stuff on Twitter, and it's just like, oh no, wait, my favorite oh no, what's going on? And it makes me worried for Divinity. I really hope that doesn't. I know it.
That trailer looked really cool at the Game Awards.
That trailer was everything I ever wanted, and I loved it. But hearing
that game is not coming in 2026. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that's 2028. I would imagine at the earliest.
Yeah.
But that makes me seeing those comments made me so disheartened.
And if it does come out sooner, then that makes you, like, paired with the AI support stuff, it kind of makes you feel a certain way. And I feel like right now, in, like, the timeline of everything, is when you're going to start seeing people thinking it's okay to speak in favor of it, thinking it's okay. And you're going to see people really coming out with their true feelings now. I feel like before, like earlier in the year, it was a little too soon, but now I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of this, and it's going to be sad, but we're going to know. We're going to have the information we need, so.
Yeah. I have some predictions for next year, some good, some bad. One of them is going to probably be very surprising, because I feel like a lot of people will disagree with me and think it's way too hopeful and optimistic, but first one up is, this is probably a pessimistic prediction, depending how you feel about the fourth game, but I think Life is Strange 5 is going to get announced and released next year. Probably announced in the spring, released in the fall, like the other two Life is Strange games that came out, 3 and 4. But the rumor on the street is that 4 and 5 are contracted by Square Enix together, and Deck 9 is wrapping up the Life is Strange 5, and the studio might close after that. Because apparently it's not going too great, if you believe the rumors, if you believe devs who have been talking. Again, it's not confirmed by any stretch of the imagination, but I think if that game exists, I think they probably want to get it out of the door sooner rather than later to move on, and I think it'll probably come out next year. And I predict, if it comes out, it will be better than 4, but it will still be among the worst of the franchise.
Dang.
I think that's a pretty fair prediction if what you're saying is true. As much as I don't want it to be true, that feels like an accurate assessment of the situation.
It could be a 2027 game, but I suspect if it was kind of developed in conjunction with the fourth game, which, again, when the fourth game was originally leaked and that ended up being true, they did mention that a game after that was also in development, I think, as well. Like, every time a Life is Strange game leaks, the following one also leaks with it. Like, I think when True Colors leaked, they mentioned the fourth one, and when the fourth one leaked properly after the third one had come out, they mentioned the fifth one. So, I don't know if there's another. I don't think Life is Strange 6 is going to get made, but unless Life is Strange 5 is really good and it sells gangbusters and Square Enix goes, oh, actually we want to continue the series, but I think the series has kind of run its course, and Lost Records is probably going to take up the mantle, at least with the next game. So speaking of Life is Strange, though, the TV show has gotten a showrunner this year, and I think it will find its cast next year, and I think it might even start production by the end of the next year.
Cool.
That's exciting. I do want to see that.
Next year is also Pokemon's 30th anniversary, which means we're all old.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Coinciding with the 30th anniversary, though, is also theoretically the 10th generation. So the next set of paired games, we've gotten, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, up until, Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. If you believe rumors, the titles for the next games are already out there. I'm not going to mention them on the podcast because I do not want to piss off Pikachu, but because he will find me. But I think Gen 10 will probably get announced on Pokemon Day for the 30th anniversary. I'm also hopeful they'll finally put some of the classic games on the Switch. It'd be really, really cool if they did like an HD remaster, like a pixel remaster, or like HD 2D trilogy of Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and Ruby and Sapphire in one set, in one game. And also like they did a red version and a blue version. So you get red, gold, and Ruby in one box, and then you get blue, silver, and sapphire in the blue box. and they call it the Red Classic Collection and the Blue Classic Collection HD or whatever. That'd be really cool if they would do that. They're not going to do that because I want it, so it'll never happen, but it would be cool if they did. That's not a prediction, that's a hope. The actual prediction is that Gen 10 will get announced on the 30th anniversary. I think it's almost guaranteed at this
100%.
point, especially with how quickly they got out that Mega Dimension DLC for Legends EA. Like, they were trying to kick that under the rug as fast as they could.
How funny.
Sweep that under the rug.
Sorry, how funny would that be if the 30th anniversary was lined up with what's that Ditto farming game? Like, what is this, like...
Pokemon Pokopia.
Oh, Pokemon Pokopia? It is. February 27th is Pokemon Day. That's how I know that game was coming out a week after Pokemon Day, because that'll be one of the big highlights at the beginning of the direct that they do at the Pokemon Presents. They're like, Pokemon Pokopia is out next week. They'll talk about that for 10 minutes, and then they're going to do all the mobile slop.
Yep.
And then after that, they'll probably date Pokemon Champions, way too late in the competitive season for it to matter.
Yep.
And then, finally, they'll be like, and here's a 30-second trailer where we might get the starters for Gen 10, and we'll get the names. And we'll all be like, why was that a Detective Pikachu-ass trailer for Scarlet and Violet? So yeah, that's where we're at for Pokemon Day. Maybe they'll announce a new spin-off game, too, in that same fell swoop. Like, maybe another Pokemon Snap would be great, but I doubt we'll get that. What I'm really hoping for is Pokemon Warriors.
Oh,
That'd be
imagine.
cool.
That'd be sweet.
Okay.
That'd be amazing.
Right? Yeah.
What is that?
You know, like the Warriors games, like Dynasty Warriors?
Is that like one of the...
Hyrule Warriors?
Is that like a real-time strategy?
No, they're hack and slash. They're
Okay,
hack
I
and
was
slash
like-
games.
A legion of Pikachus. Like, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you'll probably just slash down a bunch of Pikachus, honestly, with like a Charizard. It'd be great. Not that I want to slash down Pikachus, but just like I would like to play a Pokemon game where like you get to play as the Pokemon. Like you're a Charizard, you know, fighting a bunch of wild Pokemon. I think it could work. I know a lot of people say they want Mushroom Kingdom Warriors, but I want Kanto Warriors. So make it so, please, Pokemon Company, please.
I want another.
I give you my money every day, so.
I want them to make another Pokemon. Was it Conquest on the DS, which was like a top-down fantasy, like Fire Emblem type game? I want them to do a sequel to that. I want another one of those. That was amazing.
Huh. That sounds cool.
It was. You should go and look at it.
I think if we're lucky, they add DS in the next year or two to Nintendo Switch Online, and then they add Pokemon Conquest 8 years later.
You know, like that's probably
Best
the
we
more
can do.
accurate. That's probably more accurately what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
they'll tease Pokemon Conquest as coming. Sorry to cut you off. They'll tease it on the launch day of the Nintendo DS, like, Switch Online expansion.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, yes, Pokemon Conquest will come one day. And then 8 years later, will be Skin and Bones.
Yeah.
You know, like that meme where the guy's looking for a drop of water. And it'll be like, Nintendo, please, just Pokemon Conquest, please.
Yeah.
Nintendo will be like, no, best we can do is Mario Party 4.
The best we can do is a Pokemon
Or whatever
themed
Nintendo
calendar.
DS Mario Party game there was.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I was gonna say the best we can do is a Pokemon themed calendar or whatever the Nintendo Direct reveal was, and like
On the Nintendo Today app, we now have the Pokemon theme. Themed calendar.
Thanks.
It's all
Pokemon-
Pikachus. Please enjoy.
Pokemon Sleep too. Great.
Pokemon
Great.
Smile too. The teeth brushing app.
I forgot that was real.
That was probably not the motion I should have done for toothbrushing. I'm so sorry. Okay, here's my good prediction. The Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund buyout of EA with Jared Kushner is canceled. They can't afford it.
okay,
I'm manifesting that for 2026.
okay.
I like that. I like that. I wish I had more to comment on it, but I agree with that completely.
No notes.
Yeah, everyone's just on board with that. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, please. All right, I'm glad we're in agreement. Finally, I have a couple. Not finally, I have three more predictions, but one of them is kind of confirmed already as of today, actually, because there was a leak from Jason Schreier about something. But first, I'm going to talk about Netflix is going to close its deal with WB Games and launch a proper, dedicated AAA gaming venture, with the intention of competing with Xbox Game Pass. Like they'll use the Warner Brothers gaming assets and teams to jumpstart that. Here's my other prediction. Sorry, I actually lied. There's another prediction. Announcements and releases for AAA games are going to show further signs of slowing down after all the layoffs and increased development time on games that have not been canceled. You're going to see maybe a lot of announcements next year, but very few game releases, I think. Like, I think everything at the TGAs, it'll be lucky to come out next year.
For sure.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm inclined to agree with you, but I don't know when the AI bubble is going to burst. It's going to sometime in 2026. I just don't know when. I think we might see a lot of AAA games that are really buggy if they don't go through proper QA. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to go back to the Netflix deal, but with WB. Is this where we get the Nemesis system to finally come out of hiding?
Yes. Oh.
Yes.
I doubt it, but
what
like...
a timeline.
Oh.
What a
Imagine.
timeline where Netflix is the one that brings this to the rest of the world.
Can
Right?
you imagine?
So like, everyone use it. We're giving up the copyright. Go, make games with it. And everyone's
Well,
like...
it's a patent, right? How long do patents last? 10 years? 20 years? There must be a deadline on this patent, like an expiry date.
I don't know, it's too long, because, it's so good.
I did a lot of research into it, and something happens. For some reason, 10 years was on my radar. I can't remember what it was, but it has something to do with if you don't use it in X amount of time. But it is soon. It's soon.
Okay, good. Because I remember someone also patented having mini games on a loading screen.
That was
And whoever did that is a jerk. Because,
Bandai?
wow, you have ruined a lot of games by not giving them mini games on the loading screen.
I'm like 90% sure that was like Bandai Namco, or one of those arcade companies. They were like, no, you can't. Only we can.
Hidden loading screens. I recently learned that when you crawl through a small space in a video game and you have that like long like shuffling, and it's like, okay, what are we doing here? That's a loading screen.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how they hide it.
And I just learned that this year, and every time I see it, I'm like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're.
It's the PlayStation trademark, is crawling through a corridor.
I got so used to it. I just thought they were doing it because they liked it.
At least they make it mildly interesting now.
True.
Doesn't count as a mini game, I guess.
Hang on, I gotta get on the copyright for that. The patent for that, where is it? Hang on, just don't look at me right now.
You can make a lot. This could be the start of something wonderful.
Yeah, everyone will hate me. I got it. I'll make all the money.
Cry into your dollars. Like
Exactly. Scrooge McDuck dive into my money pool.
All right. I do want to go back as well to the announcements and releases for AAA games slowing down. Especially the release part, but I think also the announcement part. We did hear that in the last couple of days that, and this comes from Video Games Chronicle, that I found at least anyway, that hardware sales and physical game spending in the US just had its worst November in 30 years. So literally the last November before that had this low a sale, or sales for hardware specifically, was 1995. So
I believe it.
that's
believe
grim, and it also, like, not surprising that console spending is finally slowing down now that the Switch 2 is out. The people that wanted it, those early adopters, have it. I think it's going to be kind of a weak holiday season in comparison. I don't know if Nintendo's going to meet their goals. If anyone's going to meet their goals, it'll be Nintendo. But Xbox has got to be dead in the water at this point for console sales.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But also interestingly, though, is that apparently also from Video Games Chronicle is that global games revenue in 2025 is expected to grow. Let me just see what the exact number is here. 75% compared to 7.5% compared to last year, according to analysis. Maybe that's games spending, that's like actual like games, not consoles. It could be a situation where people who already have the console and they're already in are spending a little bit more because games, at that point, it's cheaper to buy a new video game than it is to go out, right? So that might be partially part of it, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
What I'm interested in is if that includes like microtransactions and stuff, because I've been seeing the past 6 months or so, a lot of MMOs are starting to lock in on the free-to-play model, but also like making it a little bit more attractive to drop a couple dollars here and there without it being super slimy, at least in my opinion. So I could see that having really wedging its way into making some money, because I can think of Warframe. Warframe's a free game to play, and I've been playing that quite a bit, and I put enough hours in, and they give you a daily login bonus, and one of the chances is a 75% off in the store to buy premium currency. And I waited until I got that, and then I dropped money. So I'm very curious if that figure is in it because, traditional gaming or just games that you would drop the $60, $70, $80 to play, I don't see that going up next year. But if it's including like any purchases that have to do with gaming, maybe. Yeah.
Its figures found that, this comes from the article, that Battlefield 6 generated the most revenue on PC this year so far, followed by Schedule 1, Arc Raiders, Monster Hunter Wilds, Borderlands 4, EA Sports FC 26, Repo, Oblivion Remastered, Civilization 7, and Dune Awakening. Which is to say, yes and no, Lloyd. Yes and no.
Interesting.
Okay.
'Cause some of those are single-player games that are like, you buy once, and others are like, yeah, buy this next costume because it's available now for $200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is Ark that one that's recently kind of blown up? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that then. Okay.
All right. 2 more things here. The first up is I originally had written here, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet will get a 2027 release date announced next year. It seems like the game is actually going to make, because apparently, according to Jason Schreier, they're trying to make an internal demo for this game
Oh.
right now, and they are currently undergoing crunch at Naughty Dog. And people are worried that if they're already crunching now and the game is still a year and a half away, because they're targeting mid-2025, 2027, that they're worried that the crunch is only going to get worse as the year goes through, as the year continues.
Oh, no.
Next year. So, Jason Schreier has given the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit a gift article. I will link that gift. I will not link the gift article. I will list the gift article or link it in the show notes.
Join the Patreon for
Exclusive Patreon content.
Join the Patreon to watch me lick articles. I print them out on a piece of paper and I go.
No, you have to like pixelate that because
I have to look, I'm sorry, Zoe. I have to unsubscribe from Patreon because of that. I'm sorry. I have to leave.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. There is no Patreon for people who are listening. For audio listeners, also, you're going to have to be subjected to this. I was licking my hands as if I was holding a piece of paper.
I got it. Yeah, no.
Very attractive gesture that Lloyd and Cleo cannot contain themselves. All right, I have one more prediction. FF7R3. So Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 will get a January 2027 release date sometime next year. And marketing will ramp up because that's when the 30th anniversary of the original game is. So I think it's going to be a January 2027 release date. Yeah. But we are almost out of time. So does anyone have any final thoughts, predictions, anything that they want to say before we wrap up for the year?
I'm really hopeful and excited to see what comes from video games. There are a lot of games I'm excited for that I haven't even seen gameplay of. I'm really hoping we'll see more announcements come out through the year. I mean, of course we will, but I'm hoping we'll see more hopeful and uplifting news compared to what it has been.
Yeah, me too. And I'm hoping that the Steam, what is it, Steambox, Steam Computer, Steam, I forget the name of it.
Steam Machine?
Steam Machine. I'm hoping that...
The Steam Cube from Nintendo.
Get a handle on it. Oh, it's perfect.
All of the stars are aligning that if there's any chance that it's sub $1,000, that's gonna handle the consumer problem with RAM, so you can't build your own personal computers. It's gonna deal with all of the physical price increases for other traditional consoles. That's something that I'm a little bit hopeful for. But no, I'm hopeful, especially for indie titles next year. So
yeah. Yeah, I really hope the Steam Machine is. I hope the Steam Machine is under 1,000 Canadian. Also,
that would be best.
But I think at this point we might be lucky to. I think it might be around anywhere from $1,100 to $1,300 Canadian. I think it's going to be more than the average PC, unfortunately. But I do prefer to do my PC gaming on it. I prefer couch gaming on a TV. I don't hate PC gaming, but I would prefer the PC be on a couch. Not the PC itself, but you get what I'm saying here. Yeah. So that's why I have my Steam Deck. That's why I'm hoping the Steam Machine will also be able to play a lot of games too, just out of the box. Because there's a lot of indie games I would like to continue playing that are early access or by teams that can't necessarily optimize because they don't have the teams or resources to do it. And having a PC is always good for that, but I would like to kind of say goodbye to PC gaming with an actual PC at a desk and a mouse and keyboard next year. It'd be nice, but we'll see what the Steam Machine is priced at.
Yeah, that's going to be the big concern. If I can get rid of this Xbox and replace it with a Steam machine, I 100% will.
I think the whole world is cheering with you there, because Xbox has kind of been crapping the bed lately with their support and confidence in their console.
Yeah.
And also pricing people out of buying it. So anyway, obviously this is a bit dire, slightly, it's a hopeful but also kind of dire note there. The industry is kind of in a weird place right now, but I just want to say, on behalf of the podcast, if you've been sticking around this year, or if this is your first episode, or you came in through halfway through the year, if you listened to the podcast at all this year, I just want to say thank you. This has been a great year. I've enjoyed doing this, even when it's been stressful. I haven't had time necessarily to cover everything. I really love it. I love hearing from people. If you have left a comment, thank you so much. If you've left a like, if you've left a rating or a review, or you haven't, but I still love you. I hope you stick around next year, because there's lots more True Avatars content planned for 2026 as well. So, also, before I kind of wrap up too, where can people find you both? I almost forgot. I'm so sorry.
You can find me at Claustrophobia. That's claustrophobia with Cleo at the front on Twitter and Instagram.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah, you can find me Lloyd_Lloydster on TikTok and Twitch, on YouTube as well, and Lloyd_Lloydster. That actually might be the TikTok one, and Blue Sky. So try both of them. You'll find me.
Or you can also go to True Avatars and see where I've tagged Lloyd, or you can see who I follow and stuff like that, because I'm sure you'll find Lloyd there as well. Or you can even go on Twitter or Blue Sky and search Lloyd in you'll find him there too. So
all my stuff links to each other. So if you find me on one spot, you'll find me. Yeah.
And thank you, True Avatars, for listening to this podcast in 2025. I'll see you next year.
Woo!
And that just about wraps up this week's show. Thanks, True Avatars, for joining me for another episode of your Queer Video Game Podcast. By listening to the show, you are supporting queer-made content, which is more important than ever. If you want to support True Avatars, it would be really great if you could leave a comment, rating, or review on your preferred podcast platform. You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube under the handle @TrueAvatars, all one word, and on Facebook and Instagram under True Avatars. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be the first to know when new content drops. I welcome you to check out the official website, trueavatarspodcast.com. That's all one word, trueavatarspodcast.com. On the website, you can sign up for the newsletter, where you can get exclusive news and updates on the show. Bye, True Avatars. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking with you all again next week. Take care and stay safe.